Hey everyone, it's Nicole from Headspace, popping on to do a live reading for you guys. So this is just a collective reading, straight to the point, no BS. So let's just see what. Let's try that again. Oh God, what a disaster! All right. Let's try that again. So we're gonna do a live collective reading. Just shuffle the cards and we'll see what we get, and I'll just tell you what we get. Let me fix this. That looks like a fucking mess. All right. Okay. Ooh. That was weird. Let's try that again. All right. So let's see what our first set of cards says. Yeah, if any of these readings resonate, definitely go to the website, headspacenj.com, and get yourself a personal reading. I'll send you the link to your own personal reading within 48 hours of when you order it. There's other stuff on the website as well. There's a Protect Your Energy like module that you can just download and have forever. Just giving you info about how to protect your energy and all that good stuff. So, all right, let's see what we have for the collective. All right, so it definitely feels like there is there's some like endings happening right now. You're finishing up like with some type of a cycle, some type of an ending. I think for a lot of you, you've been going through a lot of like healing and like your awakening, tower moments. I feel like a lot of that has been happening for you guys, and you are kind of like coming out to the tail end of it. I think you're like at the finish line for a portion of this awakening, or you know, because the awakening is forever happening and going, and it's like a lifelong journey. So I think you're finishing up this like chapter, this cycle of the awakening, of this healing moment. And I think now you are going to start to see some changes in your life. I think you, with this, are now becoming a little bit more assertive. I think a lot of you are starting to stand up for yourself more. I think you are also being like assertive with yourself. I think a lot of you have been stuck in this pattern of speaking like kind of negative, in a negative way towards yourself, just like hard on yourself, not giving yourself grace when you probably should be. And I think you're also like kind of talking to yourself a little bit more sternly in the way of like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to make these changes in life. It's okay to, you know, leave things in the past and move forward, because I feel like a lot of you have been doing this work to intentionally, you know, make this happen. You've been intentionally trying to clear out things energetically. You've been intentionally trying to make your life more peaceful and just better. So I think that you're kind of like just having to have a lot of self-talk right now, reminding yourself of that and reminding yourself of the journey that you have been going on and that you've been choosing to be on. But I also think you're being more assertive with other people. You're standing up for your beliefs more. You're saying your true feelings more. You're setting firmer boundaries. I think a lot of you are definitely like able to say no easier. when you don't want to do something, or if something doesn't resonate with you, you're not like people pleasing as much as you used to, maybe. I think a lot of you are also learning to surrender control. And I know that's a hard one for me, definitely. Especially when you're like going through a moment like this, you feel like you want to have control, and you have to realize that we don't really have control. So letting go of control and just allowing things to flow, I think, is a big thing that a lot of you in this collective are kind of like struggling with or coming to terms with, that you just need to allow things to flow. Wasting energy on worrying is not going to help anything happen better or faster or in the way that you want it to. Kind of trusting the universe to do what it needs to do behind the scenes, and you just do what you need to do in the 3D and allow everything to kind of like come together and co-create. So I think a lot of you are really starting to let go of control and realize that you are co-creating with the universe. And I think that as you step into that energy, you are becoming more relaxed, which is kind of weird because it feels like normally you would be panicking if you weren't like, trying to manipulate and control everything. And, let's say you need to get a new job or something. If you're not out there, now obviously you need to be out there, putting energy out if that's what you're working towards, but like not trying to control it and like, applying to every single thing that you see and talking to every single person that and like the desperation, I think, is, but you're not doing it desperately. You're doing it more strategically, and you're doing it knowing that something is going to work out, right? Because let's be real, it always works out. It just never works out the way that we plan for it to work out. So yeah, I see that coming through. I think that you are being asked to really, especially for like the summer months that are coming up, I think you are being guided to really, my throat chakra, being guided to like really step into like a lighter energy and actually enjoy the season, enjoy it with like a childlike energy. Being more playful, having more fun, I think, is definitely something that you're being guided towards. I think if there is any type of vacation or holiday or some type of a getaway or retreat that you either have scheduled or you've been thinking about, Spirit's definitely given you the go ahead on that. I think that you have been kind of in a very like serious mode for a while. You have been doing a lot of emotional, spiritual work, healing work on yourself. And I think you need to remember to take the time to give back to yourself as well. It can't be all work and no play. But I also think it's going to be like energetically and spiritually, like divinely guided as well. So I think that you're going to have some spiritual kind of growth or coming to moment or realization when you are taking this time. I think you need to take the time also to help you be present in the moment. I think right now for a lot of you, you're not being present in the moment. You're kind of like future tripping. You're reorganizing your life. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I think if you give yourself a little bit of time to just be present in the moment, you're gonna like actually connect dots and get a breadcrumb or the next piece of the puzzle to what your next move is or whatever it is that's coming through. And I do see that there is like a change happening. I think you are just kind of like coming out of this energy that is where you're feeling like alone, you're feeling abandoned. I feel like you partially did that to yourself, but also not. Like maybe you didn't get support from where you thought you would get support. But I feel like you're stepping out of that energy and you're coming into a more grounded energy, a lighter energy. I feel like you're going to be able to like take a breath soon. Like, I feel like you've been holding your breath for a while, like just running and running and running, like on the hamster wheel. And I feel like now you're going to be able to just be like, like fucking finally, you know? Like a little piece. This is what I've been working for. This is what I've been wanting. Like fucking finally. So that's what I see going on for your personal life. Also, I think just watching like what you're putting into your physical body. I know this one comes up a lot, and I think for a lot of the collective, you guys are very spiritually like in tune, and I think for a lot of people that are at a higher vibration or more spiritually attuned, being mindful of what you put into your body is important because you are at a higher vibration. So just throwing that out there. And that doesn't mean anything specifically, but just like kind of listen to your body intuitively. You know, try to stay away from like the processed chemical stuff. So I also have definitely a love reading coming in as well. I think this is interesting because usually my readings do not involve love, and the last few readings have been involving love. So let's see what we have as far as the love reading portion of this. So I'm definitely seeing I think a lot of you are really ready to be calling in some type of a relationship, romantically, not just any relationship. I think you're intentionally calling in a romantic relationship. I think as you've been going through all the work and everything that I just talked about in the first portion of this reading, one thing that you've been calling in is a relationship. I think that you are really looking for a grounded partnership, something with even give and take. I do see like a childlike energy to this as well, where you want something lighthearted and fun. You don't want drama. You don't want chaos. You know, nothing like that. So I feel like you are in the energy where you are trying to call it in and manifest in a relationship romantically. I think you're still kind of like hanging back on the sidelines, emotionally more so. I think you might be out there dating, you might be out on the apps, you might be, you know, having hookups, whatever. But I think you're also like a little bit reserved on like how much you are willing to be vulnerable with another party romantically. I think you're engaging and you're giving, but you're not giving your full self. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because I don't think you should just go jump right in and give your full existence to someone immediately. But I do see a relationship coming in for you guys, for this collective. I think that it's going to be something that is going to be very different from what you've had before. It's going to be definitely like helping you energetically change for the better. I think also it's going to give you a outlook on relationships that's going to be very different from what you've experienced in the past. So I think this relationship is going to show you maybe how you deserve to be treated, that, you know, you're not just here to deal with narcissists and pieces of shit and, you know, give more than you receive and all that. I think this relationship is really going to show you what it's like to be in a healthy, giving relationship. I think this person is going to come in with a very strong energy. I think they're going to be very grounded. I think they're very solid. They also seem like they could be a hard worker, or they don't mind putting in the work to things that they see value in. But I also see that you guys will still continue to have like separate identities, separate lives, not necessarily separate lives in the way that like you'll always be, you know, completely separated, but separate, like two separate people coming together in a relationship. And it's not going to be codependent. It's not going to be like meshed, you know, where you guys like lose your individuality. I think this person is going to help you to be able to continue on the journey that you're on, as far as like spiritually and energetically moving forward, and becoming stronger in yourself, recognizing your strengths more. I think this person is going to help you with that in this relationship. I think they're going to, I don't even think they know that they're doing it. I think just because of the way that they look at you and they see you and they appreciate you, is going to like help you to learn more about yourself. It's going to show you more of the positive strengths that you have, um, and like what you really have to offer just as a human being. I think this relationship is, it seems very peaceful. Um, it seems like this person is definitely more of like a caretaker type energy. They like to come in and take the lead. They like to come in and care for you and make sure you're okay. Um, I think this person has also come from, I feel like this is very similar from last week's reading too, but this person has gone through some tower moments themselves, in life and in relationships. And I think that they also are kind of coming out of that energy where they just like are tired. They've been alone for a while. They just feel like, um, alone and kind of like picked apart emotionally in like the romantic sense. I think their life is like okay. I just think like in the romance department it also has not been awesome. So I think that you both are coming from like similar places and you're both willing to put in the work if it's worth it. I think you guys are going to help grow each other emotionally, spiritually. Um yeah, it just feels very even. I also feel like this is a little side thing, but um this is, I hate giving these readings, I'm sorry. I feel like for some of you in this collective, first of all, this is a person that you either just met. This is not like an ex coming back. This is not someone that you've had any type of relationship with before. This is someone new that you are either just getting to know now or will be coming in. I feel like potentially for some of you, this could be someone that you could be having kids with. This could be the partner that you have children with. I'm seeing children energy. I think it's also a dual meaning for this part of the reading where it's like a lighter energy, a childlike energy where you can like laugh and be silly with each other. But I also think that this is someone that you could be having children with. I think that if you are not wanting to have children, you might want to be a little bit more careful. If you are looking for children, this might be, but it's going to happen naturally. It's not going to be something that you need to force or think about or anything like that. This is why I hate saying this, but do what you will with the information. This is such a strange reading. I've never gotten a reading like this for the collective. Yeah, so I just think, again, that everything is happening in the right time, in divine timing, and I think you're going to start to see some changes happening for you. I think a lot of you have been sitting in a little bit of an anxious energy, waiting for something to happen, something to change, whether it's a job, a living situation, a relationship, whatever. I think it's all starting to happen. I think this summer is when you're really going to start to see the changes. I think there's going to be more stability and peace coming in. And again, for some of you in this collective that are single, calling in relationship, there looks like there's definitely a healthy, solid relationship coming in with an energy that is very like direct, and like solid. Like they're coming in, they're taking the lead, they're going to show you almost like who you are. Like they don't know that they're doing this, but that's what they're doing. Just by the way that they treat you and act with you and everything like that, it's like they want to show you how amazing you are and how that's going to empower you. And you're going to be able to step into this energy. And I think for a lot of you, you've not been good at receiving. Receiving has been a very difficult thing for you. And I think this relationship is actually going to allow you to receive. And it's going to show you that receiving is okay and you don't have to feel guilty or feel indebted for life because they gave you anything. So yeah, that is the reading. That was a weird one for me today, but we'll see. If it resonates, and you want to get a personal reading, you can go to headspacenj.com. It's all linked up everywhere, so you can order your own reading. Also, if you like that, you can like and subscribe to my channels or follow or whatever. I do these weekly, and I also pop on and do either quick readings or whatever I feel guided to do. So that is what I have for you guys, and I will see you in a couple days.